Alright guys, before we jump into this video, I just want to say real quick, this is not a professional breakdown of the ESFL. I'm just talking about some of the dudes, about my interactions with them and who I hope wins and who I think will win in these fights. I don't cover all fights. I just talk about some of the dudes because they're really cool dudes. And make sure, I do say at the end, but make sure you go onto twitch.tv/UFC and follow it so you can watch it. Show it as much support as humanly possible. Follow the ESFL on Twitter as well if you haven't already. Follow some of the fighters on Twitter as well. We just got to show a huge amount of support, guys, so make sure you do. And yeah, enjoy the video, guys. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And in the background, we've got some UFC 4 gameplay, and we're going to be talking about the ESFL, the Esports Fighting League, for UFC 4. We've got a hell of a card coming up for you for ESFL 100, which is on the 2nd of January. Write it in your fucking notebooks, guys. We've got to show this so much support. Whether or not you follow the game like this or not, if you're like, I don't need a pro league, just watch it. Like, for starters, you'll learn more because you'll see these guys play. You don't need to be as good as them, but just watching it is amazing because these guys are some of the best. Also, this video I'm just going to make my predictions for a few fights, and I'm also just going to be talking about the event itself. So from watching the event and stuff, and from Twitter and stuff, I do have some biased opinions on who I want to win. So if I offend anyone, suck it up, I suppose. Not in a mean way, but like, if a lot of these people in this list have made the effort to know me and talk to me on Twitter, and a lot of them haven't, so that's not on me. I can't get to know these. There's 25 fights spread over 2 people apiece, so that's 50 people. It's a lot to get to know. But anyways, the events themselves are fantastic. I generally enjoy them a lot. I obviously don't get to watch them all the time because I don't have the time for that, but the ones I have watched, I enjoy. I only know one of the commentators, Balin, I believe his name is. I think it's him. I apologize if I'm getting it wrong. I'm terrible with names when it comes to this kind of thing. I've got the list actually written down there. They seem like good commentators. I think maybe they should mix up the commentating booth a little bit. I think maybe sometimes the viewers should vote, sometimes the fighters should vote, because how we have the Joe Rogan, classic Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier, and Mike Goldberg and stuff, what we're used to, and then sometimes we have Bisping, which people now love, and Paul Felder, which people love, and Dominic Cruz and Daniel Cormier, which people love doing. So I think sometimes they should mix it up, in my opinion. Other than that, the event seemed great. I will be making another video after this as well to talk about how I think the event went and how I think they can improve it. I actually tweeted that saying I'm going to make a thing on how I'm going to make a video about how the event went afterwards, and ESFL themselves actually retweeted it, so shout out to them. Everyone at the ESFL team seems awesome, and I've not really had any bad run-ins of anyone. So I'm going to put a list up of fights here right now, here or here, whichever side I choose to, and we've got a lot of fights coming up. The first one is an unknown at the moment against an Open Grand Prix winner at the time of me recording this video anyways. So we're going to jump forward a few. I don't know many of these fighters. The first one I know is number 7, which is DMart15 versus Let Here Be Light, or Let There Be Light, or whatever his name is. I know DMart just from Twitter and stuff, and I sometimes check out his content. I don't really have a preference for that. I'd like to see DMart win just because, as far as I know, he does play the game quite a bit. But then we're going to number 9, someone I actually do know, which is Dynamo MMA against T4 Buck Flair. And I am rooting hard as fuck for Dynamo MMA. The T4H clan, they seem to be kind of dicks. I don't know why. I don't know what people have done. I asked about why people don't like them, and they just didn't reply as if they were better than everyone. But even like Prioxis came out and replied to me about why people don't like them and why they're hated, but yet why they don't give me an answer, which I thought was kind of odd. So I'm rooting for Dynamo on that one. Then we go down to 11, which is Dabakin, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, versus Slick Colt. I know both these guys. Dabakin seems really cool, but Slick Colt is actually a really nice guy. Apparently people don't really like him, but I think he's a pretty cool guy, so I'm going to be rooting for him as well. When I go through these guys, make sure you go onto Twitter and you look at the list as well. I've got it on my Twitter. Make sure you go through and have a look yourself. So make sure you support these guys. Follow someone on Twitter. Have a chat with some of them. They're not above. They don't think they're above anyone, so they don't act like it. So for number 11, Dabakin versus Slick Colt, I obviously like them both, but I'm going to be rooting for Slick Colt there, just because he seemed like a really cool dude on Twitter. And as the fights go on, I will kind of support more and less of certain people as these fights go along. But I mean, this card is absolutely insane. We've got Pablo G at number 13 versus Cody Danks. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's a really cool dude. He does jiu-jitsu on I always see he does it, and it's really cool. It's actually dead interesting. I always want him to post videos on it so I can watch it. I'm going for Cody on this one just because the dude seems awesome. I've actually watched him play a few times and he's actually dead good at the game. I generally believe he'll actually win. The people I'm saying are not only good dudes, what I've seen, I generally believe they will win these fights. I think they're better than their opponent. And then we're going to jump all the way forward to number 18. And I think this is arguably one of the best fights, which is Ed Parker versus Kinetic. And I've not actually had a conversation with any of these guys, but Ed Parker, I know he's a freak at this game. And I know that Kinetic is also a freak. I've watched them both play. They're the only, when I watch Marshall and Prioxis and everyone else play, I think, God, these guys are nuts. But when I watch some of these guys play, I think, I don't even want to play you. Like, I will play anyone and get my ass kicked by anyone, but these guys are going to tear my throat out. Like, they seem nuts. So that, number 18, there's 25 fights, guys, so make sure if you're going to show up at the Ed Parker Kinetic NRG fight, because that's going to be fucking nuts. And then we've got number 20, we've got Papa Luma against T4H Recognize. Yet again, the clan, I think people are rooting against them. I don't really have an opinion. 21, we've got Zayef versus Papa Doc. I know Zayef from Twitter. I see him around sometimes. He's liked a few of my tweets. That's all I really know when it comes to that. So I don't really have an opinion. You know, I think Zayef is quite a young guy, so if he does get his ass kicked repeatedly, it doesn't really matter because he can come back in a year or so and be nutty. It doesn't matter. He's not exactly, you know, he's at the right age to sweat video games. I think he's like 15 or 17 or something. So he's at the right age to really sweat video games. And then we've got a Bathing Ash versus Peyton. I believe Peyton was if it's the same Peyton, I'm thinking he was the champion. That fight's going to be nuts. I think Peyton's going to take that. Peyton, for me, is probably one of the most unbeatable people on the game. He did lose, I believe, but you know, he was the first champion, I think, of when UFC was fully endorsing UFC 4 Pro League, and I think he defended his title once before, and then he lost it. And then we've got Swiss versus Combo. Combo, he's a super cool dude. I talk to him on Twitter from time to time, and I'm really rooting for him. His only issue is he doesn't like playing the game because he just says it feels a bit broke because he doesn't practice as much as he should, which is a shame because I know how that feels because I don't play it as much because it doesn't feel as good as it should. But I'm hoping Combo got time to practice and got the enjoyment to practice. I'm hoping he goes out there and he puts on a show and he ends up putting it in, getting the win. Next up, the co-main event, and a lot of people's main event, is Martial Mind. Everyone knows Martial Mind against Prioxis, the guy that helped my channel actually get to where it is now. If it wasn't for him, I'd probably be about 200 below where I am right now. That's a super tough fight to call, but I'm going to have to go with Martial for that one. I think through them playing before, Martial has won. I don't know if Martial's ever done anything like this, like the ESFL before. I don't think the moment will get to him. I think he's just going to be calm and he's just going to adjust, and I think he'll probably just fluster Pry, and I think Pry will lose that one, unfortunately, which I love them both. It's a shame to see them fight, but it's going to be fucking epic. And then 25, we've got Suave Jamie versus Goat 1099, and I'm pretty sure that is two former champions. I think one is Xbox, one is PlayStation. So that's going to be fucking nuts. I'm looking forward to that one. I have no issue on that one. The only person I actually know is Jamie. So I'm hoping he comes out and puts on a show and gets the win because he's the only one I really recognise. But yeah, the event as itself it's just going to be nuts. It's going to be fucking nutty, man. So make sure, if you guys haven't already, make sure you go check it out. Follow the UFC official page on twitch.tv/UFC. Follow the ESFL on Twitter. And follow some of the fighters. You know, if you guys know any of them, make sure you show them your support on the day. And I'm sure they'll appreciate the support. And I'm sure it will get them in the mood to want to play. So yeah, make sure you guys go and check out the thing. I'll leave my Twitters in the description anyway. So go to my Twitter and go to media and you'll find this exact screenshot. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.